Suburban Commando for the Amiga. Hey, we wanted to switch it up a bit for the 50th episode. Plus it has Hulk Hogan in it. In case you didn't know, Suburban Commando was a 1991 action comedy that the Hulkster courageously filmed after Earthquake sat on him a bunch and injured him. There was also a DOS version of the game, but nothing for the SNES or Genesis, which is odd. Even stranger, it came out in 1993, 2 whole years after the movie came out. So any interest there was in a Suburban Commando video game had long since dissipated. Hell, Hulk's next movie, The Cinematic Triumph Mr. Nanny, had already come out by that time. In Suburban Commando, the Hulkster plays, for real, Shep Ramsey, intergalactic warrior guy. Long story short, he crash lands on Earth, meets Christopher Lloyd and his family, hijinks ensue, etc., etc. By the way, I went back and watched the movie for this review, so you're welcome. But I don't know why. Video game tie-ins are always faithful to the source material, right? Start the game and you can choose difficulty settings of Wimp, Mean, or Macho. I have to be true to myself and stick with Wimp, since even on Mean I have a hard time getting past Stage 1. On the plus side, the game does have a password feature, making it easy to skip to the level of your choice if you don't feel like playing through or if you're a lazy video game reviewer. Oddly, one of the passwords is Wembley period 93. Was someone in England really bummed out the Hulkster wasn't at SummerSlam 92 and really hoped he'd be there the next year? Whoa, look at this intro screen. You think someone asked the Hulkster to lose to Bret Hart or something. The game is actually surprisingly varied. Stage 1 is a horizontal shooter in the vein of R-Type, as you approach General Suitor's ship. This is a little weird, as these scenes aren't featured in the actual film. Basically, the movie starts with Shep just showing up on Suitor's ship and beating ass. I guess it's implied he flew there, but I don't know why you start the game like that. Maybe they did film it, but it got cut? I don't know. Anyway, if you played any game like this, you know what to do. Shoot asteroids, get power-ups, fight off Pokeballs, etc. There's no boss to this stage, you just land and it's off to Stage 2. Here the game shifts to a platformer, as you control Shep, who looks like one of those troll dolls, as you fight off enemies, climb ladders, jump on springs, and so on. One neat feature is you have rocket boots, just like in the movie, to help you get to out-of-reach platforms, but with a limited fuel supply. The objective on this stage is to plant bombs at various parts of the ship, which you have to complete before the timer goes off. Again, this sort of happens in the movie, but Shep just dropped a load of bombs as he was escaping and wasn't really planned out. You collect a lot of fruit and candy and such, and I don't know why. I mean, you get points, but why food? I mean, there was a scene later at a fruit stand, but that was when Shep was on Earth. I don't know why you're eating hot dogs in outer space. I also don't know why you hear a popping sound whenever you collect an item. Speaking of sounds, I hope you like the sound of Hulk grunting, because you're going to hear it whenever he jumps or gets hit. That being said, I actually really like the music for this game, and the graphics are at least on par with what was available in 1993. To dispatch of enemies, you can punch and leg sweep, do a slide, or even roll into a ball. You don't have a gun, but you can at least block enemy projectiles. I like the enemies' reactions to dying. They don't just fade out or fall over. They turn, face the camera, and go all jazz hands as they jump off the screen. Plant the bombs and you fight this guy, who I don't remember from the movie at all, in a Street Fighter II style setting. You can punch, throw your opponent around, and even use a Hadouken! Although I could never pull that one off. By the way, this guy kicked my ass the whole time, but I still ended up winning. So that's some of the most accurate Hogan programming I've ever seen. At this point, we're about halfway through the game, and we've covered the first 5 minutes of the movie. Level 3 puts you on Earth. The game lets you know you crash landed on Earth because your spaceship was damaged, which is true. But in the movie, Shep's the one who damaged his ship by being a moron. So in the city level, you have to collect various rocket parts for your ship. Although in the movie, Shep just had to wait to let his ship recharge. But, to be fair, staying around wouldn't make for much of a game. I'm pretty clearly in the sewer, right? So what's with all the cars? Is parking that bad in LA? Get all the parts and it's another boss fight, and I think that's supposed to be one of the bounty hunters, the one that isn't the Undertaker, at the bank. By the way, the Undertaker plays a pretty sizable role in this movie. How does he not make the game?
You're a dead man, Ramsey.
Level 4 is another fetch quest, as you have to traverse the unfinished skyscraper to get 7 crystals to power your ship, where in the movie there was only 1. I don't know why they even bothered with this. What's wrong with just getting to the end of the level? Do that and you face the final boss, General Suitor himself, who has 2 forms, just like the movie. Beat him and you get a screen declaring, "Success again for Shep Ramsey." By the way, where's Christopher Lloyd and his family? Larry Miller? The secretary who goes into space at the end? They're all nowhere to be found. At least you get to punch the mime. And how come there was no skateboarding level? They spend an inordinate amount of time on Shep skateboarding in the movie. And why no freeze ray? Also, they were never in the suburbs. Shep was either in outer space or in the city. Well, I'll say this for Suburban Commando. I've played much worse Hulk Hogan games. And that's going to do it for episode 50. I'd like to give a special thanks to Browser Brody, a great man who helped me get set up with so many of these games. About 10 of these reviews wouldn't have happened without his help. And a big thanks to anyone who bought a t-shirt, donated some games, or just spread the word by posting a link somewhere. It means a lot to us. We got some awesome things planned. Not just this week, but in the months and years to come, hopefully. So, till then, thanks for watching. And remember, the winner is you.